So if they're getting old, what does that make me? I might as well be in the grave. Okay, you guys, we're gonna hand it over to Kristen. Are you ready? Oh, look at high tech. You got like paperwork and she's got it all on her phone.
You have to use a pencil and eraser though.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, I am Kristen, Jacqueline's sister, and we're actually twins, if you weren't sure. So just to answer any of those questions people may have been wondering.
Are you identical?
No, we're not identical. Moving on. So as I was trying to decide what I wanted to say to all of you guys here, I was having a lot of trouble because I was putting a lot of pressure on myself, kind of wanting to make sure that this speech was perfect, just like Jacqueline and Maid's friendship. So then I thought, okay, our friendship's probably a good thing to talk about. So Jacqueline has been the best friend and sister I could ever ask for, except for this one time at Morgan Layton's 8th birthday party. Mr. Boyer had just gotten done telling all of us, well, he had just gotten done with his magic show, and he was telling all of us that the reason real live bunnies couldn't be in his show is because, you see, real live bunnies have to poop outside. And it was then that Jacqueline shared with everyone that I had actually pooped outside before. Jacqueline says she doesn't remember that. I do, and it stuck with me all these years. So, that was really embarrassing, but I moved on. And needless to say, I think that if that's the worst thing Jacqueline's done to me in our 22 years, she's probably a pretty great sister. So one thing that we've been asked quite often being twins is if we like being twins. And I would have to say that though I have never not experienced being a twin, except for the first 2 hours of my life, being a twin is awesome. So, you know, it kind of stunk having to share a birthday and Christmas presents in a room and a car and pretty much everything else for the good first portion of our lives. It all made up for it because I got to grow up with my best friend as a sister. Jacqueline has always been there for me from the very beginning when we were just babies before we could even walk. My mom has said that when we were laying by each other on the ground one day, I was crying and Jacqueline wasn't, so she actually took the pacifier out of her own mouth and stuck it in mine. And that kind of behavior has actually continued throughout our lives. Jacqueline has done so much for me, just from, you know, taking care of me when I was sick at school, to doing my laundry, helping me on our calc homework in high school, trying on clothes for me, and listening to me vent about anything and then always agreeing with me. So she has been the best sister and friend I could ever ask for. So another thing we've often been asked is if we can read each other's minds. And, you know, we can't do what most people would think is reading minds, but I would say we come pretty close. My brother has said before that it's kind of like there's an invisible tube connecting our brains. And I think that's pretty accurate because all I have to say is, hey Jack, you remember when that one time? She's like, oh yeah, that one time when I was the only one who qualified in cross country for the state meet and you guys all wrote my name on your stomach and then you forgot the U to spell my name. And I'm like, yeah, that time. So, and that's actually what I was thinking. So, needless to say, it's going to be tough for me getting used to the fact that you're married now, and I don't get you all to myself. It's easier for me knowing that you are marrying the perfect man for you. I can tell just how much you love each other.
Okay.
By the silly things you guys do, which are really funny. Like teasing each other, pushing each other's buttons, and talking like this, you know, to each other. So it makes it easier for me seeing that you guys are perfect together. And Zach, I remember when we were all in high school, and we were all in cross country, and you and Kyle were the rulers of the team. They were always goofing off. Seriously, they were never doing what they were supposed to. Mr. Allison, who's here, can attest to that, I am sure. I don't think they listened to a word he ever said. So he was always making everyone laugh, him and Kyle, the two of them together, and they were also the ones that everyone thought was cute on the team, so. But anyway, so, at the time I never would have guessed that we would be where we are today, but now that we are, I couldn't be more excited to be welcoming you to the family. So now, everybody please raise a glass to the new bride and groom. May the two of you love each other more every day of your lives. Cheers.
How about a big round of applause?